Here we are. One of the biggest titles of this fall season just got to an end, and boy what a ride. And this is literal because we spent most of the show on the road. So, did this collaboration between MAPPA and Madhouse deliver? Well, no. Takt Op Destiny is one of the major disappointments of this fall season, and another proof that even consolidated big studios still can make big mistakes. This presentation's main problem is the tedious storytelling. It's not just a slow burner, but an ultra slow burner. The first half of the season is a pain to watch, to the point that I fell asleep in the middle of a bunch of the episodes. There are some sequences that they are so boring they completely lost me, and more than once I had to rewind a segment to be sure that I did not miss anything. Now the story isn't bad in my opinion. There is a good story to be told here. The problem is the format that it was presented. Takt Op Destiny should have been an 80 minutes movie instead of a 12-20 minutes episodes. More than half are just a waste of time. And not because there is not a key element that happened most, but that the rest of it is just boring. And there is nothing worse than boring anime. With a better storytelling style, you can tell this story within 90 minutes and make it better. But instead, we are put in this road trip with a main character with no personality, a waifu with also no personality, and a driver that is just there trying to be the adult in the room, or in the car in this case. Don't get me wrong, not everything is poor with this presentation. Animation and the OST are exceptional, and we are going to talk more about in a minute. But the storytelling and the characters are their major downside. The premise of the story involves a meteor that hit the United States, and alien life forms named Itou emerge from the incident, destroying anything that sounds like music, and that includes bystanders. These mighty aliens are immune to human weapons and can only be defeated by Musicarts, young girls with extraordinary powers and abilities, some of them having Conductors, who are artists that understand music and direct the Musicart during battle. After an incident involving the D2s, our main character Takto, a piano prodigy, gets badly injured during a public performance and meets Destiny, a Musicart that will follow him as he has become her conductor. The two of them together with Anna will go on a road trip from their hometown in western United States to New York City, where there is an organization that may help them and answer many of their questions. Takto is the kind of character that lacks of personality. He is deep in depression because the government has banned any type of music in an attempt to avoid D2's attack. He also has lost very important people in his life, starting with his father, who was a great musician, and we find him more than once trying to follow his father's footprints. In the later episodes, his personality improves a bit, but overall, he's a sad and boring character to watch. Then we have Destiny, who also lacks personality. Now don't get me wrong, both of them improve a bit heading to the later part of the season, but for most of the episodes she's just like a robot, with just one mindset, fighting. She gets hurt badly by the storytelling. More than once, she's about to open up and evolve naturally as a character before being interrupted by a mindless battle scene. And just like that, we jump to the next sequence. Anna is the best out of the three. She has an outgoing personality, but also she's the adult in the three. She tries to keep a cool head, keeping focus on the goal, reach New York. However, she doesn't have any special abilities, therefore, for all of the action sequences, she's sidelined. And in most of them, she's not even on scene. The supporting cast includes Titan and Lenny, both a Musicart and a Conductor. Lenny is a self-proclaimed tutor of Takt and teach him everything he needs to know. And Titan, his powerful Musicart, is a young joyful girl who has a very strong bond with him. They both come and go across the season and are very different from our main character, for they are very colorful and fun. The story lacks of a strong villain, but it does have a few. The most noticeable one, lack of screen time or believable motivations. There are some twists on this department, but they are so predictable that gets insulting. Animation wise, well, it's Madhouse and MAPPA, so of course it looks great. Well, for most of the time. As for there are some very weird transitions in some of the action sequences. there are some CG as well in these sequences, and believe it or not, some frame drops. Yes, frame drops. But you have to be very invested in the sequence to notice it. I barely noticed it on the last episode. But then, going back, paying a closer look in previous battles, I realized it happened more than once. The biggest strength in this presentation is his OST. Yuuki Itou, the legendary music director of the Overlord franchise, did deliver strong in Takt Op Destiny, way better than in Ryuko-chan, another title he worked on this season. There is a lot of classical music, but also jazz and soul, very common in the United States. Tecto does play the piano quite a lot, and we get to experience all of his masterful performance. Regarding the OP and ED, the OP is definitely one of the best of this fall season, and it's about moving forward, continuing the road of destiny without looking backwards. Very fitting for this story. The ED is a love letter from Destiny to her conductor, and summarizes her experiences in this world with him. Both are beautiful songs for a very strong soundtrack overall. This presentation does have a very strong ending in my opinion. They would have worked better in a movie format. As for this story has all the ingredients to be a musical drama. However, the producers went for the 12 episode format, trying to stretch thin a story that could have been told way better. Other than the music and most of the animation, Takt Op Destiny can be summarized as one of the most boring presentations made this fall season. For those reasons, I cannot give it more than a 4 out of 10. It seems that all of this was just a marketing campaign for their RPG and their albums, and barely anything else. So, what do you think? You think that Takt Op Destiny was able to deliver an outstanding story? Or do you agree with me that it was overhyped and fell short? Let me know in the comment section down below. Guys, thank you all so much for watching. Like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Join the Discord for free. The link is in the description section down below. And as always, I wish you all a wonderful day.